Hi. So if you have notes in front of you, step 1 says create a new blank live set. Okay, we have that. Step 2, drop a drum rack called Dat Kit in one of the MIDI tracks. So drums are over here. Can I find Dat Kit? Well, I can search for it. Make it a little quicker. Oh, straight away. From the first 3 letters, Dat Kit. Drag and drop. Then I have the device at the bottom. Now I'm on step 3, create a clip by double clicking a slot and enter the drum pattern pictured below. Okay, I'll make sure this is on so I can hear the sounds as I enter the MIDI notes. So kick, now if I look all the way along from the kick, let's make that bigger a bit. Yeah, so we can see it. I can see there's another kick halfway through the third beat. First beat, second beat, third beat, halfway through. Then there's a clap on the off beat. So one here, one there. Then there's a tom, a low tom in the middle of the first beat. And I have 2 mid toms, one just at the start of the third beat and one just before that. And then there's a high tom just before this tom. Okay, so we have that, and that's our pattern. Okay, so it rolled along nicely. In another MIDI track, find a synth instrument rack called Off-World Strings or Synthetic Choir Strings, your choice, from the strings folder of the sounds section of the browser. Okay, come out of search, go into sounds, go into strings, and synthetic choir strings. Let's try that. This sounds dramatic. The other one is more synthetic. Synthetic choir strings. Drag and drop that there. Now I'm going to create the 2 clips that are pictured. Apologies if the notes are hard to read. I kept the MIDI notes quite small on the class notes, but this should help. Now I'm going to create a clip, and this is going to be 2 bars long. So I'm going to click into the length, type in 2, and I got a 2 bar clip. Okay. And I'm going to put the first note on F3. And it's going to flow for 3 beats, so a long solid note. So you can see the way when I hover my mouse at the back of the note, I can stretch it longer. The second bar, the bottom note is the same, but the top note is a semitone or 1 step down. Semitone in this case. Okay, and now I'm going to create the second MIDI clip, which I'm looking for a B2. Oh, this is also going to be 2 bars in length. So I'm going to do that now. Put 2 in there, press return. There's a couple of ways I could have done that. You know, I can drag this to be whatever length I want. But remember, keep clips, at least at the beginning, to either be 1 bar long, 2 bar long, or above that, just multiples of 4. It'll just make your life a bit easier until you want to do something a bit more tricky. Okay, underneath the B, there's a G, and then this B continues. Oh, this is just right over that. And then there's a D above that. Okay, so these are simple 2-note chords, and the idea is that they kind of switch hands. We can change this. Okay, now I can put the other clip on. Okay, so that's the strings, and you can experiment with the macros. You can even randomize it with that button to get different sounds, or also you're welcome to try the off-world strings if you want to experiment with something different. Now let's develop the drum part using some basic restrictions. As I said before, you have so few limitations in software that you can literally do anything. And when you can do anything, it's hard to know what to do. Whereas if you have a few limitations, you can feel out a creative path to use the limits that you have. What can I do within these limits to make it interesting? So I'm after putting some imposed limits on you here to inspire a bit of creativity with your drum programming. And hopefully this will lead to a type of beat that will mutate and change over 6 different clips. But there's an interrelatedness to the clips as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our first clip. I'll change color. I can rename it. It might be a good idea. And I'm going to make 3 changes per new clip. So this is step B on part 7 of the notes. Make 3 changes. Add something, delete something, or move something. Okay, so I can add something, move something, or delete something. So I'm going to add, there's no hi-hats yet, so I think it's about time I added some. So I'm going to add a hi-hat on step 1 and on step the 3rd beat. There's no kick there, so this will give it something. And maybe, so that's 2 things. Why don't I put an open hi-hat and long? Okay. Nope. Okay, what's that like? Okay, still works with the rhythm. Now I'm going to do this again. Duplicate, rename. Now I can make 3 changes. Maybe I develop the hi-hat pattern. So I'm going to put another hi-hat there, but I'm going to put the velocity lower, just so it's not, everything's not on the whole time. And I'm going to do that up here as well. Put the velocity down. So that's 2 things. And now I'm going to put this here. I might move that over to leave that hi-hat a bit longer, and just to add another even step sound. You don't want a weak beat, because this is on a weak beat as well, you know, because this is on step, if this is, that's, I think that's step 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, step 8. So even numbers, they're weak beats. And this is step 15. So this will push against the rhythm a little bit and make it a bit more interesting. Okay, it's kind of flowing mechanically, and I like that. I'm going to duplicate again. I could change colors, but in this case I'm just going to change the numbers. Okay. Now I want to start changing things around a bit. So I'm going to add another kick. So do I add one in the middle of this beat or at the start of this beat? I'm thinking something over here. Okay, we'll add it here just to be interesting. And maybe I'll add another one here. So this, to put it in a more usual place. If I'm putting something in an unusual place here, maybe a usual place there to balance it out. Okay, so that's 2 things, and maybe I need a 3rd thing, or want a 3rd thing. Let me see. Okay, I already have something on that. Maybe, yeah, I'll put that there. That can fill in for the kick that's not there. Okay, yeah, it's alright. Duplicate again. Remember, it doesn't have to sound fantastic. We're just exploring ideas. Okay, fifth step. Okay, hi-hat. Let's put an open hi-hat here. And let's move this one. And let's move this one. So now don't really like this kick. Maybe I'll get rid of that in the next iteration. Okay, so I've moved one thing. And these are the mid ones, so I'm gonna... Okay, I moved something else. Added something else, so... Okay, it's not amazing, but that's okay. So what have we got?